I think it goes without saying, but if you run an organization, whether you're the CEO, the owner, the president, you should not slag off your partners. You know, the brands that are paying you to be associated with you and to activate with you. I mean, it's probably not a good look if they're giving you hundreds of thousands or $1 million a year in these exclusive deals where they're either your computer of choice or peripheral of choice. You should probably not fucking bring them into situations that have negative connotations, that shine them in a bad light, and you use them as a scapegoat or an excuse, which really just shows your inadequacies anyway. And I'm sure by now you're all caught up to date with TSM, the drama there with Doublelift and Lena, and not only the potential conflicts of interest there, but like the leak of Dardoch, where she's basically discussing Dardoch's the departure, but it's really hard to get rid of him, like, because nobody wants him, you know, basically sending his any sort of like brand value and player value he has just like plummeting into oblivion, into the abyss. It doesn't fucking exist anymore because she's saying, yeah, no one wants him, and she did it live in front of thousands of people on Doublelift stream. And now you can kind of understand that as a mistake, a one-off, though she obviously should not be saying that stuff in front of a player anyway. You have to have your employee head on at all times, right? If you're conducting business in any way, and he's streaming a money-making service and brand awareness and such, while representing TSM no less. She shouldn't be saying that, but and then a Reddit clip or a clip from Twitch surface where like maybe a few days earlier or a week earlier, he asked Lena if what she was saying was sensitive because he was streaming and it was the audio was being picked up, you know, and she said no, it's fine. So she was aware of it. She tried to deny that and lie on Reddit or in one of her Twitlongers, because we love Twitlongers in esports, because we're super fucking professional. And she lied about it, saying like, oh, he's just switched over to Lenovo PCs and didn't have the right setup and didn't have the right configuration for OBS. One thing you don't do in esports, where money is shit, the cash flow is absolutely fucking awful, even if you claim to be the only profitable organisation in esports like you do not chuck the people who are giving you money under the fucking bus because you fucked up. And I don't want to kind of step on Thorin's toes here. He's obviously covering it very well. But I want to speak on the brand side a bit. So, I mean, Lenovo Legion, probably the brand, it's, I don't know if it's a 2-3 year deal, I'd have to check. But nonetheless, right, is paying hundreds of thousands, if not millions, I imagine it's hundreds of thousands, to be associated with TSM. And for Lena, who's one of the highest kind of ambassadors for the organisation, right? Obviously players are the products, but the owners, and she's public facing, forward facing anyway. She's fucking trashing your brand, basically bringing that in as soon as possible with a negative connotation in a situation where it's controversy, where 95% of the esports public is against her right now. Finally, they've come to their senses, and it took a leak to actually happen, and it actually took Doublelift and Lena exposing themselves for people to realise the potential fuck-ups that can come from mixing pleasure with business in this sense, you know? And it's like, okay, if I'm Lenovo Legion right now, what am I going to do? Okay, they've kind of shown our name, put our name in a negative light and used us as a scapegoat to explain their fuck-ups. Right, that's forgivable. But what if it isn't? What if someone's there like, okay, we don't want to be associated with this? What if the snowball keeps rolling down the mountain and keeps getting bigger, right? And TSM is just a hate train for TSM. Lena and Doublelift keep fucking up. Reggie keeps fucking piping up with absolute bollocks is what I would call it. There's plenty of other words, but yeah, it's just bollocks. You know, like, what if that keeps happening? At what point, as a brand, do you want to dissociate yourselves from them? If there's like a clause in a contract which allows you to do so, which I imagine there will be, like if anything severe happens, you will pull the plug and fucking disappear, right? I myself, if I was running a brand and this carried on and they brought my name in, I'd be like, okay, let's get the fuck out then. Let's sponsor someone who gives a fuck about our products and our services and our brand and our money, you know, and the support we provide. Like, we could go to anyone and they'll accept it. If they haven't already got like a sponsor which is conflicting in terms of the categories they fit into, then they'll probably take it if we offer enough, you know, like, and we could be associated with other people. There are plenty of other big organisations out there, and frankly, there are some, like 100 Thieves, for example. You'll probably never find anything like this happen. I'll bite my words now, and this will happen next week, you know. But no, I feel it's just It's too risky for them to stay involved now. And I mean, other brands as well that are partnered with TSM. So you've got like Game Fuel, which is the PepsiCo Mountain Dew brand and such. Like, as all of these different brands that are involved, they've got a lot of sponsors, a lot of partners. If this is going on right, and you're thinking, okay, I'm here for exposure and brand awareness, but like we're only getting negative exposure to the fans and to industry people right now, and obviously you're trying to like vie to the fans and tell them, look, you should buy our products to the consumers, right? And then they're not with you with TSM at the moment. They're against them, right? So you've got to be considering that. And then if your name's brought in, it's fucking bad. But even if it isn't, like, that's by association, it looks poorly on you, depending on how much you look into it and how much people really think about the fact that, yeah, these are championing the brands, and the brands are championing the organisation. So does that mean the organisation and the brands stand for the same things? So is Lenovo Legion fine with all of this absolute fucking bollocks that's going on with TSM right now? You know, there's all these questions that come up, and I mean, what if they end the partnership, right? And then Lenovo Legion's like, okay, yeah, I want to get involved in, I don't know, say the LCS or the Apex Legends Global Series, wherever TSM is, say a PUBG League or something, right? Or PUBG Mobile League, which it wouldn't be because it would be mobile sponsor, but you get what I'm saying. In any of these leagues, right? And he goes, okay, I want to sponsor this league. Oh wait, but TSM's involved, and we've still got the bad taste in our mouths from the fuck shit that TSM have been doing, and we don't want to be associated with them. Okay, we'll take our money elsewhere. And now that looks really bad for leagues that are housing these teams that are fucking up and alienating brands from the space. And what if Lenovo? This is the flagship thing, right? This is the flagship deal for Lenovo in esports. Like, I can't see that there's a bigger one. Obviously, it's subjective, but I don't see that as a bigger one with as much presence as TSM and as much kind of real estate in esports as TSM. What if they go, oh, fuck this, we'll just stick to selling shit on Amazon and pushing it to the gaming audience as opposed to the esports audience, and they withdraw, and then they withdraw their sponsorship and support and partnerships with everyone else in esports that they're associated with. And obviously you can fill the blanks here, you can change Lenovo Legion for any brand you want. Like, what if they have a really bad taste in their mouths from esports? Then why are they going to fucking stay in? No, let's get out. And that withdraws monies from the industry. And yeah, of course, this is like grand in scale, this hypothesis, this kind of hypothetical situation that I'm concocting. But I don't think it's impossible. And I mean, the fact that it's even plausible is something that has to be in the minds of these people who are in charge of the decisions that can be worth hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. Like, it's piss poor. And I mean, I'm not going to say Lenovo should withdraw, any of that stuff. I'm not saying TSM should apologise to Lenovo, though I'm sure it's absolutely kissing ass and kissing feet and kissing heels, like everything, every part of you wants kissed. You want me to wipe your ass for you? I'll fucking do it. I'm sure they're doing that behind the scenes with Lenovo right now to keep them sweet and try and keep them on their side. But I just wanted to give an example and kind of give a perspective from the kind of business and the brand point of view with this whole TSM debacle, this absolute bollocks that's going on. I mean, I have my opinions about what's happening here. I personally think Lena should step down from the presidency, or at least from the League of Legends operations, and Riot Games should keep a close eye, investigate every month, every 2-3 months on the communications internally within TSM between the LoL team and the higher management to make sure that she's not involved, because as we're discovering here more and more, like, it is having an effect. Not only is the potential for it to have an effect there, it is having an effect. And let's be real, it seems like it was having an effect while he was on Team Liquid, which is even bigger of a conflict of interest depending on how you look at it. Like, it's just utterly outrageous. I mean, Riot Games dropped the ball entirely by, well, you know what they've done there. They said they've investigated, but they haven't at all. I understand not taking a stance on relationships in between teams and the leagues and stuff. Like, it's that becomes really hard to legislate and kind of maintain and stay on top of. But still, like, the ball's been dropped here, and yeah, just a brand-sided view. I mean, they say any press is good press. I disagree, especially if you're TSM right now. Like, this is not good press for them in any way. I can't see a world in which they manage to spin this into a positive thing. It's just not plausible. It's not possible, and for that, I would not be surprised if we see a dip in partnerships when contracts run out for TSM. There may not be as many renewals as there would have been, especially with Lenovo, unless they're super understanding and such, which that'd be quite cool on their behalf. But that's the decision they have to make. It's like, it's entirely fucked. I hope nothing more comes from this, and TSM does make the right choice with Lena, or Lena makes the right choice and says, okay, I'll step back from this particular operation within the organization. Because I'm sure she has some merits as a business person, as a president. I wouldn't assume that she got there just because of a prior relationship or anything like that. But yeah, I'm going to start doing more standalone videos like this if and when the need arises, I believe. Of course, I used to do podcasts. They're now going to be on the Esports Insider, but much bigger and better, different angles, more podcasts. That's all I'm going to say on that. So go to youtube.com/esportsinsider or search it on YouTube, Google it, whatever you wish. Go to a link from social media or from the ESI website. Subscribe there if you want more. And of course, subscribe to this channel if these standalone videos are what you're into, because I do plan on doing more. Thank you very much. I hope you're all taking care, and I'll see you in the next video.